What's up, guys?
What's up, Jake? How's it going?
Yo, how we doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. All right, so we're going to go and deviate a little bit here today, and we're going to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. The football, the NFL season just ended. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and this has been as much of the storyline as their season or any in the NFL this year, right? We go back in reverse, and it happens like last summer. She does a show, Taylor Swift does a show in Kansas City. This is before the NFL season starts. It's sometime, I think, in July. She does a show at Arrowhead Stadium, which is where the Chiefs play, right? Okay. Right. So Kelce is apparently a Swiftie, and he goes to the show. I forget who he went with, friends or whatever. So he goes to the show, and at the show, he tries to use his status as a famous person and a Arrowhead resident to get in backstage or whatever to see her either before or after the show, and he's totally blocked, right? He's rejected. She's got, first off, the security people are probably like, sorry, bro, like this is her house today. You don't have those kind of privileges. And she apparently does not speak before or after her show to preserve her voice, which is a thing.
Okay. I can't imagine like a Michael Jordan not being able to go back,
owns the place.
A Kobe Bryant, LeBron, right? Kelce's a really big deal.
They were using the Chiefs' home locker room as her dressing room. Right? So he gets blocked here, okay? He then, on his podcast, which he has with his brother, which is a great show, if you guys haven't ever listened to that, listen to that. So he's on his podcast, and he's telling his brother that not only was he blocked, but he had made her a bracelet, right?
I can't see that guy making bracelets.
He tried to come and give her. I have a teenage daughter. This is a big thing in my household. Like, they make these bracelets. Taylor herself is very inclusive. She's just a wonderful role model for everyone, but especially for young girls. And so they make all these friendship bracelets that they will then, line their arms with and go to the shows. And then it's like a trading bracelets and things like that. So back to this. So he calls her out on the podcast. And then somehow through there, she gets his information and she reaches out to him. And we don't know about this yet because it's not being publicized. But then lo and behold, she shows up at one of his games, like in the season, and this sets social media ablaze, right?
Everybody. She's not just a musician, right? She is literally on the top of the food chain, right?
I mean, didn't she just win a Grammy and
4 Grammys for Best Album of the Year?
Which is like all time now,
ever,
right?
yeah.
Right. So she's it. She's at the top.
Let's look. Let's go through the NFL. Who have been famous, I guess, dates of NFL players? Like Tom Brady had Giselle.
I mean, obviously,
right?
and he had Bridget Moynihan before that.
Moynihan, right?
Yeah.
And then Romo had Jessica Simpson.
I think they're still together now.
They're still together. Ciara is with
Russell
Wilson.
Yeah. So she shows up at a game. Everybody's going crazy. She's there. It's a Arrowhead game. I think that it was kind of like he invited her to this. He called her out, and I think when he called her out, he said, "Hey, I came to your house. Like now it's your turn to come to my house," type of thing. So she shows up. She shows up at a game, but she didn't just show up and buy a ticket and sit in stands. She was sitting in like his family suite with his parents, and then the very next week, who's back at the game? She's back at the game, and she's in the box. She's with the family. I think this was a road game. I think this was in New York, maybe.
The
NFL must love this.
Oh, are you kidding me? This is the biggest storyline of the year, right?
But why? Like, what is it about them?
Well, I mean, for the NFL, this is a bonanza, right? You basically bring a whole new group of viewers to watch a football game that would have never watched it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's such a bonanza, such a amazing, just an amazing rating bonanza that they got from this whole thing.
That's it. Suddenly you have people that don't give a crap about football, that were never watching it, but that are infatuated with her, and now all eyes are on, right?
Yeah, in America we don't have the royal family, but I always think these celebrities and musicians are our royalty.
Totally.
And that's why they're always looked. I mean, his jersey sales went through the roof.
Yeah.
Because of all the Taylor Swift fans. I'm sure she was introduced to a lot of NFL fans learn more about her too, right? There's some benefit on both sides.
If it wasn't Kelce, let's say she was dating a coach or an executive of the team, or even like a stadium hand, right? Would it matter? Because it's her, right? It's not him. Or is it both? It's her, right? It's her, right? It's all these people are watching her.
Part of where the ratings come from is that, considering the game is 3 hours long, aside from, you know, taking some shots in the crowd, how great it is you can just kind of turn the camera into a box. Oh yeah, it's Taylor Swift.
Right.
And every time she brings a whole bunch of friends or whatever's happening over
And
there.
famous friends.
And famous friends.
Do you blame the NFL for exploiting her? Do you think it's...
No. If you have such an opportunity, why not take advantage of it?
The Chiefs are still must-watch TV, right? Even without her. I mean, they were still one of the better teams. They're the defending Super Bowl champion. They've got the best player in football, and Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, we were still watching the Chiefs anyway. It's not like she was dating somebody on, you know, the Jaguars or you know, right? Or
I mean, one business enterprise that has that kind of an opportunity that would not take advantage of it.
free publicity.
Right?
Free
Good point.
publicity.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Fast forward, she's at every game. She's at all the playoff games. You know, she's at the Super Bowl. All these prop bets are. I mean, did you see the prop bets for the Super Bowl? Like, are they going to show her? Like, if he scores a touchdown, are they showing her on camera before they show, you know, Mahomes or the coach? Or and the city of Kansas City goes crazy. Like, good luck getting a hotel room in Kansas City, in Greater Kansas City, on a home game weekend, right? Like, the whole place is abuzz. Everybody's going there. All these little local hotspots and nightclubs are suddenly being blown up by everybody trying to get a glimpse of is Taylor Swift in town? Is she going to be there that weekend, right?
Do you guys think there's any negative to all this? Or what is the biggest negative about this relationship, the way it's been captured and documented?
Do you think the NFL rigged the playoffs? So the conspiracy theory that some of this was rigged to have Kansas City make it to the finals and to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
I mean, look, you know, this is a very interesting point, and it's not like you look at the Super Bowl and you look at the AFC Championship against the Raiders, or against the Ravens, excuse me. They're not blowing dudes out, right? These were not crazy blowouts. These were tight games with contested calls, and you know, we're hearing the refs on these games, and you know, I don't know.
I don't think so, because they're objectively a very talented team and well coached. Yeah. They beat Buffalo and Baltimore. They earned it. I mean, ultimately, only Roger Goodell knows, right? If there's really...
If nothing else, this was exciting, right? I think from all aspects. It was an exciting Super Bowl, overtime game, that whole angle with Taylor Swift and Kelce and everything else that was kind of surrounding it, right?
My only negative that I can take from this is I hope it doesn't kind of taint their longevity. Sometimes if something heats up way too fast, way too quickly, it's hard to sustain it long term because the amount of fame they got, notoriety, now the season's over, what's going to happen?
I mean, this is an interesting point because we've been following this saga on a measured, you know, timetable every week. She's at the game. That sort of keeps the story going and keeps it newsworthy. Now the season's over. I assume they're going to continue dating. That they didn't stop just when the Super Bowl ended. But yeah, it's going to have to find, you know, more creative ways to stay in the news cycle because Travis Kelce is out of the news, you know, at least until, you know, training camps in August, right?
Right.
So, what do you think?
Super Bowl had like an extra buzz, right? As opposed to prior years.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Yeah. Extra buzz. Extra
and I have to say, there were a bunch of these like videos on TikToks where you saw. That was kind of cute. Dads and their daughter sitting and watching the Super Bowl together, and you know the daughter has the Swift, the whatever jersey, and the dad has the Kansas City or whatever the other team's jersey. That was pretty cool.
Isn't that amazing? I did the exact same thing with my daughter.
Yeah.
We were at a Super Bowl party, and her and I are sitting on the couch, and you know she doesn't give a damn about football. That's not even her sport. And she's watching. She wants to see Taylor Swift, and I'm there watching the game. And so we were right next to each other, that exact scenario, and it's fantastic.
Right,
I love it.
I agree with that.
Right.
It was crazy though. This doesn't usually happen in the NFL. You don't really see celebrities attending NFL games like basketball.
Not with their kids, especially.
Right?
Yeah. This is a fun topic.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see where it goes. We always say this at the end of these, the part 2, right? Because we'll see what happens and where it goes. So,
I think them getting married will be part 2, right? Maybe. No? Or kid, right? Maybe.
Kid. Yeah, that's right. He's got no kids. She's got no kids. Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Back to work.
Yeah, back to work.
That's